Majima! Hey everyone. And that's just part of the intro song. Actually, I just realized I forgot to turn on the actual song that goes during my intermission, so now that should be on. But yes, it's part of the remix thing, so I can set up stuff before the stream and have things going that are interesting while I'm setting up. That's also why the thing that's mainly showing is the like different clips that have been clipped on my Twitch. It's currently night for me, so, but I think konnichiwa is just the standard hello, so you would have been fine that way as well. But yes, I am not actually sure what we're going to be modeling today, because we don't have a preset plan of, like, what model we're going to be working on. I've got a couple different choices of what I'm thinking about doing, and what's up, Everglades? What do you need? Are you just saying mom isn't like, hi mom, or do you actually like need my attention for something? Oh, it's just hi mom. Okay, got it. I figured that might be the case. But yeah, so I'm either going to be working on the maid outfit for Itami, or it's modeling day. It's modeling day, Everglades. So we're gonna be doing something modeling. But it's so the maid outfit for No, we're good. We're good. I should be making progress on models because I need to work on Itami's more. And do I need to change my stream avatar? My gosh, I'm getting distracted by so much stuff. I don't know. Are you guys more interested in seeing me play Stardew Valley than seeing me work on models? What's more entertaining for you guys, since I don't have a distinct plan today? Because I was either going to work on the maid outfit, the teeth for my next rework, because apparently I'm doing reworks again, or making a kind of standard base with full AR kit blend shapes, so that I have that set up for when I start doing commissions. You watch me work so you don't have to? I mean, fair enough. But I'm always open to what you guys want to see as well, which is why I'm kind of laying out what I'm thinking about working on today to see if there's anything that sticks out to you guys for what you want to see. Because, like, they're a bit different. They're a bit out there in terms of, like, what various things I can do. Because I don't know whether you guys want to see that outfit work or do whatever I'm worst at. Shoot. What am I worst at? Because I'm fairly good on all three. I think the one that I'm probably the worst at would be working on the mouth. Because here, let me actually go ahead and switch over to the game section and show you what's going on. But you might see a bit of Uncanny Valley, so be warned. Game. Playing Vanilla Stardew. Yeah, I might be bad at that. Actually, no, I'm fairly decent. I'm fairly decent at that. Yeah, so now if I pull up Blender, oh dear, what is up with the size of that? Hang on. Let me shrink that down. But yes, you can see I've been working on teeth, which you can also see whenever I'm working on my model, I go with full-on like shiny metallic face so I can properly see wherever the mesh is going. See, this would have standard human bite marks is the thing. It wouldn't have like the just like hang on, because I've got a second model that I can compare it to. So if we pull up the other one and switch over to that one, hang on, properties. And switch over to, come on, that one? There we go. So yeah, if we look at Itami's model, and open up the mouth for the blend shapes, hang on, where is mouth open? Oh, it's one of these, hang on. Shoot, come on. Okay, mouth A will work. So yeah, you can see on Itami's he has very much flatter teeth that doesn't go nearly as far back. So, that's why I'm kind of trying to play with the thing of doing the other teeth, which is just the kind of standard actual human teeth. And especially since with this one you can actually play with kind of what you can do with it and like make the fangs longer and stuff like that. True, yeah, if Tommy bites his tongue, he is kind of screwed, honestly. It is not a good idea for a Tommy to bite his tongue. We'll see how it goes. Though speaking of tongues, that's kind of the thing I need to model. And I am not the best at modeling, so if you want to see what I'm worst at, that's probably it. So let's see. Hang on. But wasn't there something else I need to do with this? Because I think there was... Yeah, there's like ever so slight collision on the actual like inner mouth thing. You can see it kind of clipping like right there. So I need to fix that as well. So let's separate this by material. And then grab the inside of the mouth. Come on, are you gonna let me do that? No, it's gonna let me grab absolutely everything else other than that. Hang on, I think it's gums. Yes, it is. Okay. So now if we pivot inside, and I think the one responsible is probably that vertex there. No, I have not decimated the teeth yet. So let's go into open, and then edit mode. This thing. So if we scoot that down and over, that should be fine. Let's pivot out. Okay, so we need to tweak this one as well, because it's currently colliding there. Get Colgate to sponsor me. I mean, that would be funny. It would be really funny to have Colgate sponsor a VTuber who, like, doesn't have actual teeth. Oh, I think that needs to squeeze in a little bit. Maybe just like that way. Yeah, that works. Alright. So if we go into object mode now, and then we test... Okay, well, I need to first join everything so I can actually test everything together. So give it a second to think, because it's a silly thing. There we go. Okay. So that worked. Now if I go scroll down to jaw open, you can tell which ones are like actual ARKit blend shapes by what they're named. Because like, stuff like this is stuff that I did before, and then you have just flat out jaw open, because that's ARKit standard. Gosh dang it, it's still happening. It's always so fiddly with this stuff. And, like, if you're ever zoomed out, like, how I am normally, you won't see it. But it's still gonna bug me, so I have to fix it. Otherwise it is going to be just too much for me. I wonder, so if I do it to, like, there, go, like, edit, can I just tweak the blend shape here? Yes, I can. Okay. So maybe if we squeeze that in a little bit, move that one down. Is that gonna work? So if we go into object mode now. Nope, still doing it. What if we try something else? What if we scoot you forwards instead? What if we be a bit creative here? Object mode. Okay, so that almost fixed it. That is very nearly fixed. I guess if we move whatever one that one is. Which one is that one again? Okay, so that's the same one. Why is it giving such a hard time? So if we scoot down and over a bit, and then go object mode. No, it's still got that ever so slight finagling there. Let's try scooting this one down. And then maybe forward a bit more. What if we move... no, not that one. We want this one, the one that's trying to hide under the thing. Scoot that one forward to about there. I think that would be hilarious. I think I'm going to put that as a blend shape if I can. Because like, I love the idea of having a blend shape that will specifically put, like, spinach in between my front two teeth, just to see if anyone calls me out on it. That, or, like, use it as, like, just some random ploy for something. So I will steal that idea at some point, but I need to first fix this and then make a tongue, and get the rest of that working. Because my hope with this is to fix the teeth on my model, and then be able to pull this onto any other model I create. So that includes Atami's, and on, like, the base that I eventually do, that'll just basically be the one that I start out with whenever I'm doing commissions. So then hopefully I don't have to worry about AR kit stuff. Kind of... More like, so... Whenever you have, like, a model like this, you can always take off, like, the hair and put something else on. That's normally how you change outfits. So the way that I'm imagining this goes is, I get whatever is close to the person's design in, Vroid, take the model, remove the mouth from the inside, and put this mouth in to make it that much better, kind of thing. Because it's a small detail, but it seriously helps, honestly. Like, especially in any close-up shots, because it looks so much different. It doesn't look like Vroid anymore. Because it's not fully Vroid, it's just using Vroid as the base. Let's try scooting this one down, maybe. So we do that? Nope. It's still from that one. Edit mode. So what if we scoot that in a bit? And then... Where is the point of that one? Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Ah, there it is. This is always one of the kind of funny finagly things. Is just trying to get everything organized like that. Yeah. I could try and add another one, but I should be able to get it close enough, because it doesn't need to work with it right. Or, like, it needs to work right, but it doesn't need to work exact. Like, I don't need to spend extra stuff to make the inside look nice if I can just make sure that it doesn't clip through the front. Because that's really the whole point, is I just don't want it clipping. So if we do that, bring that down, and then apparently in. I should then be able to scoot this down. Maybe even over. And that one can be down and over that way. And it looks like this went out a bit, so I need that to move back in. Oh. Hang on. There we go. I should be able to accept the duel now. Let's go back to that mode. Okay, so now it's clipping on the top. I'm getting closer, it's moving around. This one is because that needs to be moved up. So let's go back to edit mode. And then find wherever that point is. I think this one we should be able to move. So if we move that up, and then move this one up too. I was entirely distracted and still won the duel. There we go. That should be no more clipping in that. Yes! Wonderful. Zero clipping. Okay, so now we need to actually figure out how we're doing the, frickin' tongue. I mean, you're the one who challenged me. You should know that challenging the streamer to a duel doesn't always work well. Oof, yeah, I've bitten my cheek before too. It is not fun. Alright, so let's separate by material again, and then figure out how we are doing the tongue. So let's do add cylinder? Do we have so add mesh cylinder should get us close. And then first off, before we do anything else, where has my cylinder gone? I need to link this to my armature stuff. So do that, and then just for good measure do that. Okay, so now I've got that linked, and then we can go to the... Where is it? It's somewhere in here. I'm always losing it. This is why it takes so long for me to try and figure this stuff out. Because somewhere in here is parents. And there it is. Okay, so parent type, bone, and then set this to the head. Then it should move with the head. There we go. And that's why I did it first, because it always jumps to some really weird position first. And that's not so great when you've already modeled it. But since I haven't modeled anything yet, we're good. So I should be able to work with this just fine. And then, you know what, while we're at it, let's set this to... Oh, do we not have any more? Let's make a new one. Can I do that as gums and then make this as a new one? Did I just make two materials? I did make two materials, I think. Oh, no, I didn't. Because that's separate, I think. I think that's the shoes. I'm not 100% sure. But we will call this one tongue. Maybe give it a capital T. Maybe capital T will work better. Wait, what? Pull out two more cups and play... Oh! Yeah, it kind of does look like a big red cup that's covering it. Because essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to duplicate... Ah! Okay. So actually, if I delete that... Can I delete? Okay, so I deleted that, remove that, then copy material, paste material? No, that just copies the same thing. How do I... Surely I can duplicate a material, no? Well, I was going to do, like, you squish it, and then you, like, extend it out and kind of have more control over the curve at the top. Because, like, your tongue isn't really a sphere. It's very much, like, kind of flat at the back and then goes into kind of the curve at the front. That's why I wanted to have more control over it. And thus why I picked this. But I'm trying to see if I can make sure that I have the right thing. Because essentially, with how I separate it by material, I need the tongue to be a separate material so I can pick the entire tongue at once, which is why I'm not happy with just going with the gums, even though that is the exact material type that I want. Because I can deal with it being not the most optimized if it makes it a whole lot easier to work on, given how often I'm apparently working on this. So I need to figure out how the frick to do this. Like, I don't even... Like, where is this texture even coming from? I don't like there's a reason I do all of my actual texturing in Unity because I understand that texturing a whole lot better than I do in Blender. I mean, yeah, that'll probably help, honestly. Uh does this even have a texture? Surely it does. I don't know how any of this works. I just I just want to duplicate a freaking thing. Surely that's not that hard. New material, fake user, no. Texture goes poof. Heck if I know. You guys wanted to see me struggle. Well, at least one of you wanted to see me struggle. This is me struggling. Oh, it's a node texture. Yeah, I haven't messed with nodes in Blender at all. I have zero idea. Just surely there's a way to. I'm just gonna Google it now. I've done enough poking around. I need to just Google this. So duplicating a material in Blender, and I have entirely misspelled material, but it gets me there. Okay, so copy and paste. Okay, so I need to basically just make a new material and then select the old material and copy it. Or wait, hang on. Assign the base material and then hit add new? Okay, so if I do that, if I go back to my Blender thing, so I've got the thing there, so if I hit the add new... I am dumb! I am very dumb. It was a single button. Just... I got it. It wasn't this. It wasn't the plus sign. It was this little. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. There's a little freaking like add new thing next to this thing down here. Good lord, I'm dumb. All right, let's try properly making this now. So let's get scale. We want to squish this. Well, no, like this is a copy of the material. It's not the same material. I'm not dizzy right now is the thing. This is just me struggling. This is me struggling normally. Let's just keep shrinking this until I've got something that's probably about the size of what I need the tongue to be. Well, I'm glad I could satisfy your desire for the struggle. Yeah, this is a bit big to be the tongue, isn't it? Not quite down to scale yet. Let's see. Let's grab this. So we need to go probably about there. Shrink it down like that. Maybe about there? Maybe a bit less. Maybe a bit thinner. Oh, that's scaling the entire thing. I'm trying to just scale that. There we go. So now if we try and stick that in the mouth, how does that go? I'm just realizing it's a bit hard to see because it's so darn similar to the rest of the mouth. That just might be... No, I don't want to delete. Let's try rotating, bring that down. Oh, I don't think I was quite straight on that. Hang on. Grab that, rotate good. Bring that down there. Yeah, that is definitely still too big. So let's go back to scale. Squeeze it down like that. Why is it like ever so slightly twisted, it feels like? Alright, so now if I scoot that down, will that fit snugly between the teeth? Because that's essentially what I'm looking for. Yeah, that does. Okay. So then, I think what I want to do... how do I want to do this, actually? And I know one thing I want to do is I want to try and change the color of the actual rest of the gum slightly. So if we go to this one, can I, like, skew this to be more red? Hang on, somewhere on here. Subsurface color. It's like if I did... Nope, that's not how that works. Surely there's a way to tint this more red. I don't know nodes, so, but let's see. Nodes. Okay, base color. Wait, no, because it's not using nodes. It's freaking not, because when I clicked nodes, it reset it. Shoot, okay. So if it's not nodes, how the frick do I recolor this? Because that's not seeming to do anything. Subsurface color didn't do anything. I can make it more metallic. I can... What is going on here? Okay. It's fine. It's not doing anything either. I just want to make it darker, essentially. What the frick? Don't know what clear coat does, either. It's so weird, I know. I don't... What? Okay. I can make it rougher, apparently. Or shinier. I'll leave it there, I guess. Okay, is there something else I can, like, throw on? Color ramp. Base color. Yes, actually this thing! There we go! I found it! I finally found it! So I want to go darker and I want to go more saturated. Just so that we can actually see the difference of what we're doing. So we go to, like, maybe about there. It's not supposed to be. I'm less worried about the materials at the moment. I just kind of want a reasonable expectation of what it could possibly look like, because I've got my own way of doing materials in Unity. As long as they're separate materials, I can remap them however I want. So that's why I'm just not bothered in the slightest. Heck, I could make it, like, bright neon green or something as a tongue, and probably be fine. I could have a blue tongue from eating too many blue candies or something. Okay, so let's do that, and then... Wait. Where is my modeling tools? Because those are just moving things. Where are the other tools? Is it under sculpting? Is that what I'm thinking of? No, sculpting is different. Frick. Where did it go? Ah, there it is. Okay, now I'm happy. I was not in edit mode, that might have been why. The almighty blue-mouthed cat. I mean, Net has an actual blue mouth. Okay, so we want to extrude the region, and then go like that. And then we should be able to have that selected and scale that region specifically. And just go like that. And start having the tongue curve. I mean, I made Net's mouth. I can just do more mouth. And thank you, animation. So then if we extrude again, and then go scale again, should be able to get this looking right. Extrude. Yes, it is Blender. I am working in Blender. Because it makes a lot of sense to do this part in Blender, since it's like so very custom. Though I will admit, I did not make the teeth myself. I found them on like Blender's thing of like, here's free stuff to use. And I was like, yes, please, I don't want to have to custom do all of the teeth. There we go. And then if we do one last extrude, I think. Just a tiny one. Just to give it that last bit of depth. And then scale that down. We are super zoomed in on my mouth right now. It actually feels a little weird, I'll be honest. Maybe like that. Object mode. Then if we like scoot that in and then maybe back a little bit. Because I'm trying to get this where it feels like it actually sits in her mouth reasonably. Oh, nope, that's poking through. I think I need to tweak this a little bit more. Rotate it that way a smidge. Scoot it over. And that seems to work. It's a little weird, though. I think it's because it actually goes so far back that it just doesn't quite feel right. I'm not quite sure what I'd do about that, though. Do I have to, like, actually model, like, a uvula and stuff to make this feel right in my head? Like, there's no way anyone is ever going to, like, actually see that. Just, like, there's no way that's ever going to come up on stream or anything, though. Like, how would you ever, like, because I think if we're looking, like, just object mode wise, that looks alright. Oh my gosh. No, I am a family friendly streamer. No one Google that. We are family friendly here. Just good lord. I will admit, though, I could definitely see someone using this kind of model for for not so family friendly stuff. Let's put it that way. Because it's at least well done, I think. Maybe if I squish the mouth a little bit so it doesn't go quite so far back. Maybe that'll help. So if we take the gums and we scale them, go edit mode, because why not? Scale. Hang on. Select all. There we go. And then, frick, right. We don't want to move those ones to the front. So we need to do box, unselect front, box. Okay, box and just select things beyond that point. That works. And then squish. That should work. I do the metallic face whenever I'm in Blender, just so that I can see how the... That did not work, right? Something looks funky there. Oh, it only selected one side, that would be why. Gosh dang it, I forgot it doesn't select all the way through. Object mode. But yeah, so the metallic face helps me see where the model actually is, because a lot of the toon textures, you can't see depth very well, so it gets harder to do, like, very distinctive blend shape movement type stuff. Orange teeth and blue tongue. I mean, I could do that. But the top teeth and the lower teeth are actually separate textures as well. So let's grab gums. What if we do it from the back? So if we go straight back and then do box, hang on, edit mode, box, select that instead. Okay, so that in theory should work better. So if we go object mode, has that moved in at all? I think it has a bit. I'm not sure if it's enough. Maybe I need to squash it a bit too, because the top does feel very, like, high. Oh, I think I've fudged something else up, though. That doesn't look right. Freaking hell. Yeah, you have to get, like, really in there sometimes with the 3D modeling. I don't know, should I just accept that I'm gonna have, like, a much longer mouth than I need to? So I'm not sure it actually looks too far off when you're, like, actually looking at it. It's a bit silly, but it's not crazy out there, at least. Maybe I can fake it with some shading or something when I'm actually doing, like, the materials and stuff on Unity instead. Just, am I gonna... What do you mean demands cat treats? Why are you demanding cat treats for Robot Cat? Fat! Good lord. You really like hitting me with stuff. And I mean, it depends on how much you're paying them and to do what. Because a lot of stuff has like, if they do just a Vroid, they're not going to be in your mouth because they don't typically go that in depth. I am just being a silly person and going, hey, I want, like, detailed teeth. Because I've gotten tired of Vroid's teeth and their terrible mouth setup. Because, here, let me actually show you one of my biggest grievances with Vroid's mouth setup. So if we go back to the one that still has the Vroid mouth, I am just tongue-tied at the moment. Hang on. There we go. That one. So if we're back at Itami, you can see the mouth doesn't look too bad. It looks fine. But then you go into edit mode, and let's say you want to move, I don't know, just this tooth. Let's move this tooth a little bit. So if we just do that, you'll notice I've somehow only gotten half of the tooth. The other half is this point right here. Which, if I could actually, like, zoom in enough to turn around. Hang on, let me try and squeeze my way in here again. scoot over here. Yeah, you can see, it's still at the right point on the other one. Yeah, the vertexes aren't merged properly, and that is a common occurrence through the entire mouth. And then it is so darn hard to pick any random point in here, because this is all one material. So you can't separate out just the tongue. So you'll notice the tongue is colliding with the teeth here. If you want to move just the tip of the tongue, it is entirely ridiculous to try and even do that. Which is why I say I refuse. I am making my own teeth. Good day. I mean, you clearly don't need to pay me that much. I'm already doing it. So I can tell you that much. But yes, let's switch over back to the one that I am happier with, which is my own mouth, which is a weird statement. Hang on. Hit the wrong thing. I wish I could use my hotkey for this, because I just recently fixed my game capture hotkey, but unfortunately Blender doesn't work well with game captures. It just does not like actually counting as a game capture for some reason. I mean, wouldn't you be happy with this mouth? Though definitely I do need to change the blend shape more, because this, I can open my mouth wider than that. So for jaw open, that is not open enough. That would make sense, but I frickin' hate working with it. Like, you're not, I don't think you're supposed to be pulling the Vroid stuff into this kind of stuff, because it's technically a finished model, so it's not expected to be continued working on. But that's a huge pain for whenever you want to update something, and knowing how me and other VTubers are, there's a lot of updates that go on. So that's why I'm trying to make mine reasonable for updates in the future. Because I absolutely hate it when you're trying to work on something that's a Vroid thing and it just does not work right. It is bad. Yeah, I bet that's the case. Because you can definitely tell they use they use some kind of game engine, especially with how the like actual test animations all look like game animations. So I am not surprised that they would most likely be game modders or modelers or whatever. Probably both. They could be both. Because I know a lot of game devs start as modders, because that's a pretty easy way of getting into just the code of a game, because you just have a pre-existing game and you're like, I want to change something. Though, I can say from my experience, it is difficult. I still have not gotten a working Minecraft mod. Anyways, what am I doing now? Do I care about uvulas and stuff? It's a weird statement. That feels like such a weird statement. Do I care about uvulas? Just... I can't take myself seriously anymore. I'm not a hacker. I may use cheats in some games, but they're all like single player games. Or games that are like really casual and no one cares. Though, with honestly, the worst security I have seen is in physical places. Like, there are so many ways that you could get into a place with just physical methods to steal information that you don't even need to hack most of the time. Just put a big circle in them. Oh, that's actually a smart idea. That you are clever. Thank you. Alright, so let's just add, and then we want mesh. Hang on, surface. No? There we go. Circle. What? What? Why did I select that? That's not what I wanted to select. Did it not add it? I thought it... Okay, so it did add it. It's right there. It's... I clearly don't use this enough, because I have no idea what the frick it's doing. Hmm... This looks so weird from the inside. Wait, why is that? Eh? Eh? Why is teeth outside? Eh? I am confused. Oh, okay, so it's just a part of it. It's fine. It's not like a full tooth. Yes, now you're seeing the full inside of this. But I think I'm actually going to try just moving the actual thing again. Hang on, am I on the gums? I cannot talk. This is getting worse. Okay, edit mode. Oh, did it only select part of it? Oh yeah, it did. Okay. So, select nothing. Box select. Hang on. Box select that. Nope. Come on. Okay. Straight back. Zoom in. Oh, that doesn't work. There we go. Box there. Okay, so that selects that. And then if we line that up with center, put that there. Let's grab that one as well. Oh, come on. And then rotate around to this side. Come on. I think I'm gonna worry about the lower stuff less. Come on. There we go. Though I say that, and then I just immediately go down to this side, like it actually matters. Because I think it's to that point. Ah, where am I now? Oh dear. Why are my teeth clipping through my thing? I mean, if God made people like this, I feel sorry for him. That's how I'm gonna put it. Just like the amount of things that I've said that have been just awkward statements. Wait, why are you so forward? for more out of context quotes, apparently. All right, let's just try and squish this and see, can we get that? Okay, maybe if we move this now. And then go object mode. Okay, that feels closer. That makes more sense. Now just figure out how we're fixing that. My mouth is built different? I mean, I should hope so. I don't know if that's supposed to be an insult or what, but yes, my mouth is built differently. Uh... Hmm. Why is it only on that side as well? Hang on, so if we grab that, and then go back to our shape keys. I mean, yeah, a lot of 3D modeling defies physics. That's not particularly out of the ordinary, I will say. Try open, edit, and then let's grab that vertex, squish that down, and problem solved. That is legit all it took to hide that. I'm still debating on whether or not I want to add something in the back to try and do that hide a bit more, but I feel like it would work better with just doing actual kind of frickin' words. Words work, please. Having it be texture based instead of material. No, instead of vector based. I can words, I promise, just not all the time. Oh, though I've realized I've kind of messed my Who's starting a food fight? I kind of messed myself up with how I did this because I can't raise the middle of the tongue very well now. So I need to grab this face, scoot it inwards, and then extrude it back out so that I have a new set of points there. But clearly this is going to fight me a bit. So I think probably there, maybe a bit over. That works. And then if we extrude this out, whoops, no, we don't want to resize, we just want to extrude. Let's go to there and then do another, probably go like one just before the end and then extrude that the rest of the way out so that it's not fighting things. Did you bite him first? You bit him first. So I don't think you really have all that much room to complain here. So what if we do that and then turn on that. And then maybe a bit less. And then I think I need to do it on these parts too. There we go. That has more tongue shape to it now. Why would I try and make a throat? Like, I could do it, I am sure, but why? Like, I can see doing, like, a super close-up where I'm just like, hey guys, stop that, or something. But why the frick would I need a throat? I can only think of non-family friendly reasons of why I would need a throat. And we are trying to be family friendly here. Grab those two, scoop that up a bit more. Nom chat. I would rather not be the vor streamer. I would rather not be the streamer that eats chat. I feel like this might be one of those things that, like, the more I fiddle with it, the weirder it gets, and the less it feels like a tongue to me. Oh, shoot. I also just realized a bit of an issue. I have specifically made this tongue in position for jaw open. So if I go here and I say merge all material, no, join everything, and give it a second to think, then I'm probably going to have the tongue sticking out of underneath my jaw. Which is probably not what I want, I'll be honest. I don't think that's where I was going with this. But let's see if that is the case. Surprisingly, it is not! surprisingly, my tongue does not stick out from underneath my mouth. But I'm pretty sure it'll look silly. Yeah, the tongue is just steady in place. That does not seem right. Because we want it to move. Wait, I'm too professional? What do you mean I'm too professional? That doesn't make sense. I feel like the tongue needs to raise when the mouth is closed and lower when it's not. Ah! I'm too professional to have a tongue stick through my face. I mean, I am actually not a professional at all. I started 3D, I started using Blender a little bit before I started streaming. And I started streaming in July, July 1st. So it has been, half a year? That's not professional. that is, maybe hobbyist level? But it is a little bit ridiculous, I will say. So let's try separate by material again, and see if we can get this tongue to have more reasonable movement. Let's copy that. And then let's do basis, and then that. And then if we do basis is higher, so we go into edit mode. And since it doesn't collide, we can probably just, grab any points that we care to. Come on, grab that back one. There we go. Go a bit wider on that. And then Z. Kind of just raise up the tongue. Let's go there, I guess. So if we go there, I think it's changed on jaw open as well, I think. Yeah. So let's edit jaw open, and now we can literally just move these back down to wherever feels comfortable for this. Probably about there-ish. So just kind of moves down a little bit. So then if we join everything, let's see how that looks together, and see if we need to change anything, because we might. Though the nice thing is that the tongue is such a kind of random, fleshy object that it doesn't have to move in proper time with everything, it just has to look reasonable, is how I'm going to say it. So jaw open, if we start closing it. Does that feel like it has reasonable movement? Let's try a different angle. I don't know, I think we go a bit more exaggerated than that. So I think maybe if we raise up the sides a bit more rather than just the center. It does feel like it's lowering, but I think there needs to be something a bit different. So when you need to I mean, I'm always happy to hear that I am a good distraction, but if you need to work on something, please do go work on it. Because I highly recommend making progress on stuff. It is generally a good idea to make progress. I mean, I'm trying to be a good imam and recommend you do things that are actually good for you. Instead of just staring at me as I try and open and close a mouth. Oh, I think the tip needs to move up more. Because clearly it's mostly focusing on the back. Why is that top priority? That doesn't seem right. Separate by materials again. Though, I will say, I do love what I ended up putting as my go live on Twitter. Because I didn't know which of the things we were going to be working on today. So it ended up being, like, generic girl, maid outfit, or teeth. And that just sounds, like, vaguely unsettling, is kind of how I like to think about it. It's just, you have one of those things where you have a list of objects, and one of them doesn't quite seem to belong. Which is, like, one of my favorite things. Alright, so let's turn down jaw open. Go basis. I mean, it really didn't take much convincing for you guys to be on board of, yeah, go work on teeth. Just go do that. So I'm not quite sure whether I should be concerned or happy. Because it could really go either way. I thought for sure people would be more interested in, I don't know, like a maid outfit or like other generally interesting things. But no, teeth is fine. Everyone's just on board with teeth. Which, don't get me wrong, I enjoy working on these teeth. But good lord, it still feels funny. Here we go. So we've now got that, so if we scoot that up together, that should reasonably work for that. And then if we go to jaw open, switch to edit mode, and squeeze it back down. Work. Wait, what do you mean chat has a plan and you're somewhat scared now? What do you think chat is planning? That's my question. What could chat possibly be planning? Okay, so jaw open. Yeah, it kind of works. So if we merge everything again and give it a test. Put a gap in your front teeth? But I don't have a gap in my front teeth. I was debating on making my two front teeth a little bit bigger, because I think mine are. They didn't used to be, but then I ended up, like, breaking my front two teeth down to the root and had to get fake ones put in. Put my teeth in a maid outfit? I mean, that's a different kind of thing, honestly. Oh, that feels right. I don't know why that immediately struck me as feeling right, though. Maid outfit the model? I mean, I was planning on using whatever maid outfit I make for Tommy for myself as well. So I'm going to end up with a maid outfit. But yeah, what do you guys think of that tongue? Because I think it works pretty well. It's not exactly like it looks like a lump of flesh, which it's a weird statement, but is accurate to a tongue. Which I don't know how I feel about that. The fact that I am happy that part of my model looks like a lump of flesh. And I think that's the weirdest way I've described a tongue, actually. But how else would you describe it? Wait, what do you mean a maid outfit with a face in the middle? I don't know when I'd ever have a maid outfit with a face in the middle. I could see like a cat head in the middle. That'd be a cute one. Alright. But now that we've gotten the tongue in place, what's even next? Um, I can either try and make more blend shapes for the teeth, and try and, like, add sharp teeth or something. Or I could try and do tongue out, or just other basic blend shapes you would normally see. What are you guys interested in? Are you interested in seeing how I do the, like... I don't think a uvula is a good use of vectors at the moment. I'm trying to keep this relatively, like, fine in terms of mesh size. I don't think I want to add enough polys to make a uvula. I'm not sure on that one. I mean, I don't know. Do you think it would actually add that much to the model is my thing? Because I don't know, maybe I could use it as just a hilarious thing to post on Twitter and be like, hey, my new model is so detailed, I have a uvula. But I don't think that's gonna draw in as much attention as it would take to actually, like, have that there. I think that's why I'm having a hard time deciding on whether or not we should do a uvula. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do a poll. I'm going to make a poll, and you guys are going to decide whether or not I add a uvula to this model. So uvula, yes or no, that's the only two options you get. And we're gonna set it for 3 minutes, because why not? I know it would be funny, which is why I'm giving you guys the option for democracy here. Because I am good to do it if it's funny. But I need an excuse, is kind of my thing. Like, I will do the crazy modeling stuff. I will do the, like, crazy trying to do so many different things that is, like, not been done before just because I can. So, I'm not saying don't do uvula. I'm saying give me an excuse if you actually think it will help. Or be funny to watch. Either way. Because, I mean... I had not seen many people do, or really anyone, do a 3D avatar with moving ears before I did it. So, I have done weird stuff before, and I think it'll be funny to have a uvula, honestly. Like, I don't know when the frick it would ever come up, but I'd probably find an excuse to bring it up, honestly. I just have, like, a point redeem of eat chat or something. I don't know, I think that'll be dumb. Maybe just have a hotkey whenever I do, the consume, where I just zoom in on my mouth as I'm consuming something. Confessions. I'm not confessing to anything, I have done nothing wrong. So I am perfectly fine. Though my stuttering does not seem to be helping with that, does it? I don't know why I'm stuttering right now. It just happens. I think it's because I'm a little bit excited. That's probably why. I tend to stutter when I'm excited. just so much random stuff right now. Don't put that idea in my head. I've got collabs coming up. I've literally got collabs planned for Sunday as well as next Sunday. And heck, I always do collabs on Sunday because I'm always playing Raft with Net. I'm not gonna eat my collab partners. That's not a that is not a civil thing to do. That's not a friendly thing. No, I am not going to eat collab partners. That is not happening. See, now, like, if chat does the point redeem and asks for it, maybe I'll do it. But I'm not gonna eat my collab partners. Good lord. Plus, I don't even have it set up for that. Though I do need to reset how I've got my Discord overlay stuff going. Because right now it's tied to the same level as, or the same kind of group as my model is. Oh dear. Hang on, how separate was this poll? Everyone voted yes, okay. So I guess I'm making a uvula. Alright. What is the best way to make a Uvula? Probably starting with a sphere and then just like extending the top part of it upwards. I think I'll make it out of the same as that one. So if I separate by material, use the same material as the gums on top. Or should I use the gums on bottom? Probably gums on bottom so that it's separated. No, I'll do on top just in case I ever move the top of the jaw. Because then the uvula will move with it and it'll make more sense. So gums 1 is the one that I want to stick it on. But first we need to start with adding a mesh sphere. A UV sphere should work, I think. And then we want to shrink this down. I probably should have just scaled the entire thing to start with. Just scale everything down. Let's move this forwards. Yep, that's not forwards. that is not forwards at all. That is crazy out there. Oh, this is not even centered. Let's try and center it first and then continue scaling it. Let's do that. Go to material and select gums 1 so it's the correct one already. Scaling more. Yep, come on. That's kind of a... The ghost image of that looks a little bit creepy. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like I'm blowing bubblegum right now. Let's try and put that there. Shrink it down a bit more, I think. Alright, let's try and reposition this. Probably needs to be shrunken down more, though. Squeeze that there, scoop that up. Put it like as it's definitely not in the middle of the mouth. It's definitely like as far back as it can go is where I need to be putting this. Yes, I do eat a lot of raspberries. So that is not far off. So maybe that, and then let's scale this down a little bit more, I think. Probably about there. And then if we go into edit mode, let's do select faces. Oop, what is it doing? Just start selecting random points of this. Probably... Because essentially what I want to do is I want to get this so that it's kind of stretched out more. Probably not that layer, actually. Probably stop at that layer, go with this one. Switch it to this side. Oh, not box, we want brush still. There we go. Today is a weird day, honestly. Just, I never thought I would be modeling like, pulling the camera inside my mouth on stream or doing any of that. Why are you not moving just the selected ones? Whoa, where did it go? Is it that one? No? It's... What are you doing? Oh, I see why, because I've got that on. There we go. Actually, I should be using that. Why am I not using that? Let's just select this top section. Come on. Just erase everything, and then there. That top circle. Turn that on. And now... hang on. Smaller, please. Smaller circle. There we go. Now I can properly control this. So we want this to just raise upwards. Probably to be like about there-ish. And then we go there, and then we can get this move out the rest of the way. And then if we do scale and just move that up, maybe raise it higher. How is that for Uvula? That is like the weirdest statement I have said in a long while, actually, now that I say it like that. Hang on, where is the... I need the forward and back. I need that one. Maybe do that way. I feel like it's kind of messed up, though. Hang on. G, make that bigger. And then forward and back. Like that. And then be up higher a bit. Alright, so if we go into object mode and just see how this looks. It's so freaking weird to have a uvula. This strikes me as odd. Makes you want to not have one in real life. I mean, is it that bad? Have I done something wrong? I mean, you guys are the ones who pushed me to do it, so... It's not like you can really blame me. Let's try edit mode. Select the circle down there. Come on, there we go. And then G, Y. That. You just think it seems cursed? I mean, I can't say what is cursed and what isn't, honestly, at this point. It very well may be cursed. It is not up for me to decide. Hang on, can I, like, scale this properly, please? Just do like that. And that. Maybe even squash it a tad. Wait, why does that still have the bottom selected? It's not supposed to still have the bottom selected. There we go. So now if we make this wider, it should be only if... Nope, I've still got it too much. I need to reduce my thingy by quite a bit. There we go. Actually, I should just turn that off entirely, because I don't need that right now. I'm literally just trying to make the top wider, so that it kind of blends in more. It's not a pancake uvula. Who would want a pancake uvula? Ow, hang on, I'm upside down. It's a weird statement, honestly. Just hang on, I'm upside down. Alright. How is that? Are you guys happy I added a uvula? Is it too big? Let me go look at a picture of a uvula real quick, because that was just off of my memory of what a uvula looks like. Let's see, uvula. They're not that small, really. There are a lot of weird... Who the frick pierces their uvula? I'm sorry, that is not an image I wanted to see. Good lord. You got a legitimate response out of me, though. Oh my gosh, apparently more than one person has done it. Good lord, why? Alright, this feels weird. Just looking at pictures of uvulas feels so weird. Frick, what do we do? No, don't pierce your uvula, don't do it. Does not look good. Like, if you want to go pierce your ears, fine. If you want to get a nose piercing, sure. Lip piercings, even, go for it. Whatever, do what makes you happy. But uvula? Like, come on. That's kind of where I draw the line, I think. Like, I don't get... No. My model will not have any piercings. I am not a piercing person. I will happily put them on other people's models, but I will not put them on my own model because I will not ever get piercings myself. Just what the frick is going on? Also, wait, Net, you're still around? Go to bed. I just realized that I had not told Net to go to bed yet, and his avatar is still there. So Net, you need to go to bed. Hang on, where are my where are my emotes so I can properly do the go to bed? There we go. Go to bed. Alright, I think it needs to be thinner. I think that's what needs to happen. I'm glad I was able to make you laugh. Because uvula piercing is not fun to look at, not for me anyways. It is unsettling to me. Alright, edit mode. And wait, what am I on? Oh, I'm on the hair. I shouldn't be on the hair, I should be on the uvula. Nope, that's the face. Object mode. That thing. There we go. Edit mode now. I mean, I'm glad I was able to make you laugh. Select everything. Squeeze like that. Then squeeze like that, because I can. There we go. That feels a bit better, I think. So if we go out to object mode now, I've got a uvula. Okay, but it's not actually at that position in the mouth, so I need to reposition it. Because it's, like, lower down and further back, if that makes sense. So let's see what we can do with that. So if we just move the entire thing and just go like that and that. Can we get that positioned correctly? That looks better. Split tongue sounds painful, but I can see why people are, like, interested in it. So, like, I would not recommend it, but I could see why someone would want to, is how I'll put it. Hang on, if we actually do that, and then... So uvula would normally go about there-ish, probably. And then reposition the actual mouth mesh to do the thing. Go into edit mode now. And then let's do... don't want scale, I want move. I probably actually want to turn this on. Make that probably about there. That should work. And then go down, I think. I think about there should work. Yeah, I will not be doing a tattoo at any point. I can be very well sure that that is, like, the only tongue tattoos I would do would be the kind that you get in your fruit by the foot. Like, those are the kinds of tongue tattoos that I could possibly do. Okay, so now if we go into object mode, now we've actually got a shape to the mouth. I think I still need to tweak that a bit, though. So go back into edit mode, grab both of these. I think those are on the same level. Yes, they are. Scoop down. Scoop down. And then let's do these two, make it a bit bigger of a selection area. Scoop down and back. There we go. And then object mode. Okay. That feels correct. You want, like, 2 tattoos but not on your tongue? That's fair. I can understand that. That is reasonable. I'm sorry, but just Uvula. I'm not sure whether you guys bring out the worst or best in me, honestly. Because the fact that this is now a thing is just a very weird feeling. This is not how I saw my night going. I can say that for sure. Alright, let's try joining everything now and seeing how this looks when we have the actual mouth opening and closing. Because that's my concern now. Is it going to look like there's something, like, rigid and hard back there? And do I need to start having it, like, move when I open my mouth and stuff? Because that's gonna be a ridiculous level of, like, being in-depth with it. I will be honest. But where is jaw open? Oh, I passed it. There it is, jaw open. I mean, that's fine, as long as it's entertaining. It works. Just, it is a very weird time, isn't it? I don't know, does the uvula need to move, or would that be too creepy? That's what I'm unsure of. I have not spent much time studying how a uvula moves as your mouth does, but I'm pretty sure it only really moves due to, like, air moving past it or, like, when you swallow. But I feel like opening your mouth would probably have some kind of effect on it, but I don't know how you'd actually study that. Uh... Hmm. I can't decide. Wait. There's no way to detect swallowing via face tracking, really. So, that's why I was saying, like, opening your mouth would be a kind of standard one. But in order to make it move when moving my head, I'd have to add a frickin' spring bone on it. Do you want me to add physics to this? I think I'm drawing the line there. I'm not adding physics to a uvula. That is just not happening. that does not seem right. I think that's too in depth at that point. And I think the processing power of your computer versus the amount that you see is probably not correct there. Like, I know I've done some pretty, like, in-depth detail things, like making the pupils shrink when I blink, because absolutely no one ever sees that. It's just a thing that happens. Oh, sorry, no, I got it reversed. They shrink when my eyes widen, and they grow when I close my eyes, because there's less light getting into them. Because, yes, I think about this level of dumb stuff when doing my models. It is entirely ridiculous, but I love it. Just... I'm sorry, I still can't get over the fact that I have now done a uvula on stream. Just... This is ridiculous. I think I've now entirely derailed myself because I can't stop giggling. Ah, good lord. Alright, what do we do now? What do we do? So I'm happy with tongue movement. Do I add movement to the uvula? Yeah, I add movement to the uvula. I can't get over it. I must do it. Oh. Oh, I didn't link it properly. I forgot to link it properly. Hang on. Such a dumb thing, but I could totally see that happening during, like, one of the community night things. Just after I have this model going, just being like, hey, does anyone here have a uvula? Just... It's so dumb. I love it though. I love you too, because I would not be laughing that hard if I was streaming without you in chat, apparently. Alright, that's joined in now. Let's go and frickin' edit this blend shape now. The dumbest of things, but I love it. No, stay zoomed out a bit. Okay. Face. Grab all of this. And then I've got that on. Okay. So now I should... Nope, hang on. It's not what I want. I want that smaller, not bigger. There we go. And then put that on. And then we want to select around the middle-ish. Oh, dang it, that didn't work. See, erase those, and then grab these ones, not those ones. It is such a stupid thing, but I'm going to love it. Like, it's literally going to end up at the point of, like, I am just fully accepting it's stupid, and like anytime someone is trying to be like, I am the better VTuber, I have this, I can just immediately pull out, well, do you have a uvula? Just the entire stupidity of the situation. uh, Something like that, I think. I think we'll leave that width there. Alright, so now if we go into object mode. Oh, it's got the ever so slight movement. Because it feels like it's breathing is the weird part. Gosh dang it, now frickin' hell, I am now legitimately, like, vaguely tempted to actually add a spring bone into it so that when I tilt my head and open my mouth, the uvula is tilted. just legit, like, it's entirely ridiculous. I absolutely should not do that. But I'm tempted. I can't deny it. I am tempted. I can now blame you for my uvula. That is such a weird statement. I can blame you for my uvula. What the frick is even going on? Alright. My uvula is an inside joke. That sounds like one of those stupid things where, like, you're going off against someone and they're like, your mom is this, and then it's like, my uvula's an inside joke. What's going on today? Gosh, I've gotta compose myself now. I'm supposed to be still streaming and actually talking and stuff. There, I think a bit of water helps. Gosh dang it. And at this rate, I'm not going to be able to get any more done on my model because I'm just going to be laughing too hard. It's going to get to the point that someone's just going to type uvula in my Discord and I'm going to see it while I'm at my day job and burst out laughing and I'm not going to be able to explain why. Just, I don't want that to happen. Good lord. Alright, let's do sharp teeth or something. Let's come on. Progress. Want to make progress today. Good lord. Can't stop laughing. If I am legitimately the one to start a trend of uvulas on VTuber models, I am going to just, I don't know what I'm gonna do at that point. If that is my legacy, what the frick? Oh my gosh, I'm squeaking now. I'm laughing now. I can't stop. Just calm down. Ah, freaking hell. I'm gonna make myself dizzy from laughing. Ah. Good lord. You are the perfect amount of chaos, Jay. I'm not surprised. My laughing is breaking me. Did you not hear me coughing? Good lord. I'm not surprised. I'm really not. Come on, stop laughing. Ah. Right. Come on, sharp teeth. Sharp teeth is what I want to do. Let's do fangs first. Fangs. Ah, dizzy. Ah. Then edit mode. Grab. I think just. Oh, does that squeak? Yeah, that's basically what I want to try and do, is like make it super easy to go vampire if I ever really want to. Oh, that has grabbed too much though. We need smaller thingy. So if we do that, and then smaller still though. It's like probably to about there. Is that enough for fangs? So if we go into object mode and like slide fangs up, I could just be growing vampire teeth. Should I go longer than that, or is that good? Because I think I might be able to get away with longer. Do you think it looks good? Okay. We'll stick with that then. So there is now fangs. Now we have to figure out how to make sharp teeth for the rest of it. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's do, let's grab the lower teeth. Lower teeth. And add a new blend shape. And have this one be, fangs lower. And we need to actually change this one to fangs upper. And then we'll do one with both that is just fangs. So fangs upper. And then if we go back here, and then grab the same 2 points. Oh, frick, right. I forget it does this. Oh, I gotta consume? Alright, hang on. Let me carefully reposition this first, and then I'll do it. Alright, and then up. Probably about there, so that we're not like full-on colliding. Alright, so for consume, I will do raspberry, because I have raspberries here and I love raspberries. And yes, that was a single raspberry that I ate in 3 bites. Don't ask me how I do that. Alright. So then if we put on fangs lower, come on, zoom out. Yeah, that looks nice. So now we've got like proper werewolf stuff. I pull apart the raspberry because I like eating raspberry bits. Like if they're the perfectly like just underripe raspberries that I really like, then they will be like firm enough that you can actually pull apart the little individual bubbles on them, and then you can have like tons of bites of raspberry and it's still just one raspberry and it's great. I do the same thing with clementines. I'll peel off Like, you know how people normally...
Welcome to your new haven.
Thank you for the follow, Squee. But yes, infinite raspberry pieces. Oh, you come from Twitter? Nice! Nice to see people are coming from my Twitter. That's always great. I still love that go live notification thing that I had today. I'm just... Yeah, we could be working on the generic girl, the maid outfit, or teeth. And clearly we're working on teeth. You've come to boop the kitty. Fair enough, fair enough. I do have things you can throw at me. Yes, I have just added fangs to my very realistic teeth. Which is probably more realistic than you would ever need. But it is great. Let's see, so we now need to do fangs proper. Oh, yeah, you can do that. You can, like, tear off, like, little pineapple bits without having to do the entire thing. Okay, so then if we do new shape from mix, have this one just be called fangs, and then this one we want to turn off the jaw, open, and do it off this one. Add new shape from mix, have this one be called fangs as well. There we go. So now we've properly done full fangs. So if we do this, it should immediately get fangs back, which is good. I don't even remember how I found out about it, honestly. Oh, I just realized that since I have fangs upper and just fangs, I can do super exaggerated fangs if I really wanted to. Like, there's no way this does not stab the inside of my mouth, but it's possible. I could do it. If you ask them if they like arson, I am going to I'm gonna stab you. Because I have that command. I've got a really weird list of commands, actually. Like, if you're curious about all of my commands, just go check my Ko-fi. Oh my gosh. Alright, I don't have to stab you, because I didn't say anything about uvulas. But I really should have expected that. Alright, let's see about doing actual proper sharp teeth this time. Oh, right, I should probably have that be sharp teeth, spelt camel case without the space, because that's apparently how I'm doing this. Let's grab these guys, and then I should, in theory, yes, I could do this. That doesn't quite look right, though. That is definitely not the sharp teeth I was thinking of. How do we want to do this? I think let's try doing that first. And then maybe pull in these things. Oh, right, that's overlapping with that. Okay, so I have to do this as not doing it with that on. And then I can kind of bring that in that way. I see you were testing out my different things now. Insult is a kind of interesting one, but there are some much better ones. Actually, which one is my favorite that doesn't get used enough? It's hard to say, so there are quite a few good ones. Come on, that one, and then... that... nope, not that one. That one. Maybe like that? I mean, go ahead and use the lick command. It's there for people to use. And if you've got any commands you want me to have, or want to have yourself, go ahead and use the point redeem for it. And I don't know, you making it harder for other people to sleep does seem like a bit of an insult to me. Because people like sleep, and if you burden their sleep, they will not like you. That one, and then that one there. There we go. So that's kind of getting there. Thinking about what I said earlier? Which one? I've said a lot of stuff. Also, and any command that you request will go on my Ko-fi that will be free to download. So if you have one that you want on your own stream, feel free to just request it. I mean, it's not hard for someone to taste salty. Let's squeeze these. Actually, no, let's grab that one too. Squeeze those in now. Squeeze. Okay. Is that a reasonable sharp tooth? It's hard to tell when it's alongside just other normal teeth, honestly. That's the part I'm kind of struggling with. Just like, this is just a normal tooth, and then you've got a random sharp tooth. Trying to go fangs. Oh, we've got an add a command. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and return that one, because I'm gonna say that adding a command to promote yourself on my stream isn't gonna be great. I would rather not set that precedent. Let's squeeze that in this way. Eh. It's still one that I don't really want to set as a precedent. Like, if it was, like, shouting out the small ones, maybe. But that's only because I'm also a part of the small ones. What? Tide Pod cat? Are you calling me a Tide Pod? I'm not sure, but that feels kind of like an insult. Should I feel insulted by that? Or you use Tide Pods? I mean, that doesn't help clarify whether or not that should be an insult, I'll be honest. That could very well still be an insult. They're good? Okay. I will take it as a compliment then. There we go. I think that helped a bit. As long as you like them, it's fine. No, they are not a snack. Do not eat Tide Pods. Just gosh dang it. Let's get that to go down a bit more. Kind of smooth that out. No, no tasting Tide Pods. That is bad. I spent so much time on just this one tooth. This is going to take forever, honestly. Let's see how it looks like in transformation, though. So if we just go whoop, whoop. I mean, it is a sharp tooth. And then if we, like, stick fangs on it, too. Why would you taste poison? It's not a good thing either. Frick. I don't know. Am I happy with that or not? So hang on. If this closes, yeah, it still fits over it. I took damage. I don't necessarily taste like damage. Gosh. Am I just gonna have to, like, take an image of a Tide Pod now and stick cat ears on it and post that to Twitter and be like, look, it's me! Just, good lord. Oh my gosh. I should not have even mentioned that as a possibility. And I'm currently trying to just give myself an option for sharp teeth. So I'm not, like, I know these definitely look better flat on me, but I know, like, go ahead and do it then, I dare you. I will retweet it. Go ahead and do it. Yeah, hang on, let me swap over to the example of sharp teeth, which is why I'm trying to make a version of it. Yeah, because I would like for Itami to also have pretty realistic teeth. And right now he's just got these monster teeth. But I know he's going to want to keep sharp teeth. So I need to make actual sharp teeth. And make it look good. Which is why I'm trying to make the option. Good lord. Anyways, let me go ahead and switch back to the one that we're actually working on. There we go. Let's see if I can make it look good. Because that's the challenge. I mean, it at least looks like a thing. It just doesn't look great. Maybe if I grab those 3 and then just go whoop. It helps a bit. Maybe if I do a bit less and then deselect that one and then bring this one down further. There we go. There's a proper sharp tooth. Maybe squeeze that one out a little bit more, get kind of a bit more of a reasonable curve on this. That should work. Ads. Yeah, I do have ads to try and make sure that people don't get pre-rolls too often. There we go. That should be good. And then I need to do the same for the other one. There's a Tide Pod Chan. I really shouldn't be surprised that there's Tide Pod Chan, honestly. That sounds like something that the internet would most certainly do. Ah!
Why would you give her money?
Oh! Thank you for the sub! I'm pretty sure that was a bike that just hit me. Just so much to throw at me. Let's raise that up to about there, yeah. And then that one in place. Squeeze that one up and in. That one needs to move in. And then probably up a bit too, yeah. Maybe there-ish. It's definitely easier when you have one to actually look at. Do you know Tide Pod Chan? Are you a fan of Tide Pod Chan? There we go. Fair enough. Let's bring that down and out a bit. There we go. That one down. This one down. Down and a bit out. And then these two need to just scooch down a bit. What? Oh, if you're trying to post a link or anything, oh, not YouTube, I'm trying to click Discord, there we go. Put it to my Discord. Because I don't allow links in my Twitch chat. Let's squeeze this one back over here. Scoop that up. And then that one definitely needs to go down. And then it goes over, up, and over-ish there. Move that in a bit. I think this side definitely needs to go in. In there. Okay, is that even? No, because that's a bit more slender than this one. So we need to squeeze probably this one in a bit. That one in. That definitely needs to go in. And these ones over. Well, now it has the gap in the front teeth. Well, welcome to the Discord. We have silly people. Something still feels funky about that. Probably about there. Why does it still feel so much wider? I mean, I suppose they're never gonna be exact, but still. I think it's these that should go in further. That seems to have helped a bit. So we go into object mode. That should work. Ooh, yay, pets. I like pets. And the emotes are so cute. Anzu did them for me and they're amazing. Maybe I should actually do bunny teeth next. Because it's gonna take forever to do like all of the teeth. All of the teeth as sharp teeth. Also, this should actually be sharp teeth. Upper. Upper. Mm. I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult. But then again, I do have experience with, like, Photoshop and, well, not Photoshop specifically, but photo editing and drawing and stuff. So maybe I'm not one to talk. That needs to go in more. Up like that a bit. And then maybe squish that in. Ah, you can't do arts? I don't know. Arts is just something that you need practice on. I think you can do it. I believe in you. Let's squeeze that one in a bit too, I think. It is interesting to see, like, differently shaped teeth, though. Should I even bother with the back teeth? Because, like... Actually, wait, these might be easier. Because if I, like, just picked the center one of each of them, and then did the frickin' thing. So, hang on, if I do that, select each of these, and then turn on the, frickin', where is it? That one. G... So if I do like that, super easy sharp teeth. Like, they're not gonna properly fit together, but I don't think I can really do much about that. So like if I extend it like that, I mean, it's weird, but I think it'll work. Scuff drawings can be fun. Hmm. Hang on, if I actually grab those and then do the same on this side. Grab that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. I think that's the last of it. Yeah, because there's 5. And then do G to make it smaller. Okay, maybe a bit bigger than that. No, it's doing weird stuff. Okay. So that doesn't quite work. So I might have to grab the corners and move them up. Fair enough, fair enough. Hmm. I guess let me just do the same on this side. So if I just grab center one on each of these. Nope, that's not center. That's center. Center, center. And then G, Z. go there, and then think about there. Is that about even on both sides? No, it is most certainly not. That is slow, but it is definitely too round. Oop, did not mean to select everything. Your cousin asked if I was a lewd tuber, and you replied with Tide Pod. I mean, I am a family I am a family-friendly VTuber. Primarily because when I had just gotten started, there were already children in my chat. I was not gonna start looting with them in my chat. I think let's just pull these down. I mean, famlude. I mean, that just sounds like incest with extra steps. Sorry, no, that was a bad joke. Gosh dang it. Yeah, because I am not particularly family friendly when I'm given explicit permission not to, but I tend to struggle sometimes. I am everyone's e-mom. I should be setting a good example, but I still trip up sometimes. I am still a person. I would say human, but I am clearly not, because I don't actually have human ears, if you've noticed. Let's scoot these down a little more. Actually, hang on, because these look a whole lot better than the ones on this side, so I need to do something about these. I think it's gonna be grabbing that stuff and then grabbing the corners there. I mean, if you want to be specific, I'm a shapeshifter, hence why I have the shapeshifter redeem. So you can tell me to shapeshift. That one. Come on. Grabbing these tricky points. There we go. That should be all of them. Well, at least enough of them to work with this. So if we do that, and then kind of smooth that out. There we go. So then in theory, these should now match up. Yeah, they seem to for the most part. So if we go into object mode, we've now got sharp teeth on both sides. Only problem is it definitely does make them grow. But I think it'll work. Yeah. That's the uvula back there. Because I'm crazy enough to be that specific. Edit mode. Grab each of those, because that's easy next step. Wait, why are you gonna cut yours out? That does not seem healthy. Here, let's do these ones next, I guess. I mean, I was already halfway there when you talked me into it. Literally, the way that you talked me into it was you voted yes on the poll where I asked if I should do it. Like, it's not that hard to talk me into it. Why have these ended up so different? Oh, because I've selected the wrong ones. It might help to select the right points on the mesh. It honestly wouldn't be that hard. I know myself. It would not be that hard. Yeah, I unfortunately don't know how to make it do that. Those guys. Push that up. And then I think scoot in. I've just realized that this is actually at an angle, which is going to make this much more difficult. Probably go with that. Scoot that down a bit. There we go. You can't wait until a RGB VTuber comes out so the avatar is constantly... those exist. I am sure of it. I feel as though I have vaguely seen some on Twitter. Eh? Eh? No, no, don't. There are points that are not joined. It's going to drive me mad, I'm sure of it. I specifically tried to make these teeth to get away from that, because it's completely ridiculous, and I don't remember the shortcut to joining vertices. I need to remember it, though. So if I select both of those, edit... No. How does one join? How do you join vertices? Blender. Join vertices. Drawing started. Fair enough. Nope, let's not do that. Vertex connect. No, that's... Wait, what is this? Oh, it splits the faces between them. Yeah, no, that's not what I want. I want to merge them. What does my dress look like? Here, let me just zoom out and show you. Hang on. Let me pull this over. But yes. It looks like a creamsicle is basically what it looks like. So it's very cute. Yes, I am a tiny cat now. I am truly one of the small ones. But yes, I do have legs. I have legs and I can do things. I know that's very descriptive, but I can actually... No stealing my shoes! Actually, hang on. I have an idea. Just because I can show this off. let me go ahead and be here first, so that you can actually see me a little bit bigger than I was. And then if I switch that off and switch on, let's see, what's a good one? Here we go. I condense. I condense and my tails move. Yes! Look at this flex! Look at me flexing! I am flexing so hard right now! Because of course I condense. Alright, flexing done. Let me go ahead and jump back. There we go. I love it too, it's so much fun. You really don't see many VTubers with semi-realistic stuff. So it's really fun to stand out like that. Though I need to get proper full body tracking so I can actually, like, dance on stream, not that kind of dance. Because I'm not a great dancer, but I do at least seat dance. And yes, I make my model. Like, I was pretty sure that was apparent that I make my model. Like, I'm not exactly trying to hide that fact. Let's scoot that one down a little bit, I think. And this one too. Right, I was supposed to join the two things over here. I got distracted, didn't I? It's not supposed to be a Tide Pod, I swear! I swear it's not supposed to be a Tide Pod! Cause, good lord. It's just the blue and orange. But seriously, Tide Pods were not my, like, thing, I swear. Hang on, is it this thing? So vertex, and then, no, how, what? How does one do? There should be a merge vertices there, apparently. I am very much not a lazy person, as you can probably tell by how in-depth this goes. I think it's Alt-M? Or is it... Hang on. Oh, it's under Mesh, that's why. I was looking in the wrong place. So if we go Mesh, Merge, at center. That is... What? What is that done? Let's try that again. Mesh, merge. At first? No, it's doing weird lighting things. Yes. So, right now what I'm doing are the blend shapes. So this already has the armature on it, so if I go to the armature and show it, you can see all of the bones that are rigged up in this thing. So, that is... I mean, I've made this model. I have done the blend shapes, and I actually use a webcam, so I don't even use the like iPhone tracking, because I don't have any Apple products, and I refuse to. So I have had to figure out how to do this with a webcam, which actually isn't that hard, it's just V up. Yeah, I know, like Apple. I guess I'm just gonna accept that those two do not join for some reason or another. Because apparently if you join them, it does weird things. Oh, but that one's joined. What the frick is going on there, then? Yeah, well. I don't even like apple pie, honestly. Like, I just do not like it. It's mainly because I don't like cinnamon in desserts all that much for some reason. Like, doing cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls are fine, but like French toast and stuff, I'm not about that. Though I could just be a very weird person, because apparently lots of other people like cinnamon in desserts. And weirdly enough, I like cinnamon when used as a spice for, like, ramen and stuff. It's actually really good whenever you're doing, like, a beef bouillon. You throw in some cinnamon and it makes it really, really good. Is cheesecake a pie? What is the definition of pie? Because, I mean, if you really, really think about it, pizza's a salad. And, cereal is a soup. Wait, what's being clipped now? Are my hot takes being clipped? Hang on, what was that thing I missed in chat that Carmi said? As someone with a strong disdain for Apple the company, you were a bit conflicted when you found out the woman you started dating recently is an Apple support supervisor. Oh, she doesn't even like Apple. I mean, a job's a job, is how I'd put that. You kind of take what you can get. So I don't blame someone. Like, if Apple approached me and was like, we want you to be a developer for us, I probably wouldn't say no. Oh, yes, pizza is a salad. Hang on, I turn that on and go G, make it bigger. And then go like that. Alright, how is that for sharp teeth? I mean, salads can have dressings. But, like, what is a salad but a mixture of either fruits or vegetables that could be cooked or uncooked? Heck, there's pasta salad. If there's pasta salad, then surely pizza can be counted as a salad. Because cheese is another very common salad topping. I need to hide that armature again. It's always too much. Hey, you don't eat raw pasta salad. So surely you can cook it and be fine. Heck, potato salad is cooked. I mean, I if it's just throwing this mouth on Carmi, I would be more than happy to. Like, cause I'm specifically making this mouth so that I can have like pre-made bases to do more models on. The problem is I probably won't be doing the blend shapes without you paying. Like the actual full-on blend shapes. You just found 4 rainbow rocks in a row without cheating? Oh, you're playing Stardew. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, proper bunny teeth is one of the things that I'm planning on making for this as well. I just wanted to start with sharp teeth, because why not? Actually, mainly because I've got Itami, who clearly needs sharp teeth. But what if we throw fangs on top of this? Kind of not. Something feels off about it, though. Something feels rather off. Yeah, mayo, potatoes, and eggs is cooked. That's still a salad. I think it's these front teeth that strike me as odd, because like the back teeth make sense to me. Yes, it's always super awesome to see like full-on expressive avatars and stuff. But I still stand by the fact that you don't need an iPhone to do it. iPhones definitely help make it easier, but like you can do an awful lot without it. Me, for example. Front teeth should be flat. Like they should be flat, not pointy? Mm. I don't know. I don't think they would be, though. Because if we're talking, like, canine teeth... Hang on, let me pull up an example. So let me do... hang on. Let's do... wolf teeth. And then do... yeah, references are always great. Hang on. That one, no. This one ought to work. Hang on. Open image in... where is it? Come on, where is it? Open image in new tab. That one ought to work. That, and then do this one, properties, and switch over to this guy. There we go. Okay, so yeah, if you look at this, they're pretty sharp front teeth. They're not, like, flat. And I'm glad you could do the VTuber thing. Wait, Jay, why am I gonna hate you? Ah! Okay, that wasn't Jay, but thank you for the love. But Jay, why am I gonna hate you? Also, I'm glad the drawing is complete. But yeah, so I need to somehow make this more... Oh, size difference. Size difference could be it. So if I make the front teeth smaller, that might help. Because I think the front teeth are like the smallest teeth out of all of them. So let's try that. Yeah. Hang on, let me switch back to that one? Yes. Okay. So then, basically, I just need to shrink these 4 front teeth and the rest should be fine. Just slapped on the bird app. And I'll have to go check it when the stream is done, which will be in about 30 minutes. And I'm very curious what you did with Carmi. Let's go edit mode. Oh, that's not right. Object mode. Get rid of things. Sharp teeth upper. Edit. And then basically I'm gonna want to shrink all of this. So let's try selecting it from the front. Ah! Gosh, you really love doing that, Everglades. And then flip it around to this side. Erase that. Grab these. And then these guys. Alright, that should be good enough, I think. So then, in theory, if I've done this right, I should be able to go to scale. Should be able to shrink them like that. Okay, maybe not like that. So that's gonna do a weird thing. Then if I scoot them up like this, it's at least a little bit better. Oh, I missed what you typed? Oh, and their canines are at a 20-degree angle. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna get that 20-degree angle right, I'll be honest. Because, like, angling them outwards is gonna be very tricky for any kind of other blend shapes that I do on top of it. Phone pics work. Phone pics are fine. Let's try and squeeze these in a bit more. Oh, nope. Come on. That one. Scoot it down. And this guy down a bit. What? The tops are forced outwards and the bottoms are more forwards? Okay. How? Like, I'm these aren't going to be proper canine teeth because I don't have a canine model. I'm gonna get close, I'm gonna get the resemblance, but hang on, let me look at the wolf. I mean, they both look like they tilt forwards, essentially. Oh, hang on, I think I see what you mean. So, like, this one, let's see, if I grab that point... Nope, come on. I don't want to grab the rest of the points, I just want that one. So if I do that, and then... Bug's a paleontologist. I am sorry, alright? And then let's try and maybe squeeze that one up. Do something like that. If it's not that way, it's going to go right into the roof of your mouth. Alright, I will try and keep that in mind. I will make sure to sit inside the mouth and close it when I get a chance. It's at least a thing. There we go. I'm trying to make this a slider so that I can use the same set of teeth for, like, any model. And just have it tweak to whatever the preference is. So these ones will actually be, Itami's. Though I'll definitely be, like, pulling this out on Halloween or something. Where it's just suddenly I have those. It definitely doesn't quite work with fangs. You're not gonna get that merged with fangs, but I think that kind of works as is. Maybe I should have, like, dog fangs be a separate one. Because they're just different. But at Everglades, does this work for you? Is this close enough, or is there something more you want to complain about? Because complain away. I definitely want to try and get as close as I can on this. I mean, that's fine. We're not going for 100% accuracy here, and I would like them to be able to close their mouth. Fair enough. I'll make sure I have bunny teeth ready then. And I'll work on getting the base blend shapes down, because I'll be doing them on mine as well, because I'm going to be... Since V-Up is moving to the ARKit style blend shapes at some point in the future, I don't have a date yet, but I've seen on their Discord that they are talking about it. So I want to make sure that I have them ready on my model, so once they upgrade to being at the same level, I can just flip over to the new blend shapes and be like, yay! Yeah. So here, let me actually do this. So if we close jaw... Oh yeah, so that one's colliding with a lower tooth there. So I'm not quite happy with that one. I need to move that one outwards then. The other one's fine. The other one is sliding across the front of it. I'll accept that. And I'm just going to basically ignore whatever goes on with these back ones for the most part, because it's not going to be as noticeable. But I think that one at least needs to have that tweaked. So if I grab the point of that and then pull that out, there we go. So that's where it would normally sit. So that should be fine. And if we grab, say, the gum line and close the gums, yeah. So that's not hitting the gums. That's perfectly fine. It's moving as you would expect it to move, which is great because most models don't tend to have this. They tend to collide their teeth a lot, which is a huge pain when you're actually wanting to do something with it. So let me open this jaw back up. Come on. There we go. Open that. Back you have human teeth have a bump on the back. Yeah. They've got that shenanigans. Because I've got very accurate human teeth, because I was not the one to model these. I just found them online. And they were free, so I was like, sure, why not? But I'm going to be adding the point to these, but having it try and go the opposite way so it looks like they kind of interlock. So it's at least kind of makes sense. But I think that's quite good for the top one. I don't really want to do the bottom one right now, because doing the bottom one requires redoing all that, and we're at 2 hours and 48 minutes, and I was supposed to be doing a 3-hour stream. So I guess let's do bunny teeth, because bunny teeth should be something quicker. What is that on my thing? Oh well, we'll worry about that later. Should we call these bunny teeth, or should we just call them rodent teeth? Let's do rodent teeth. Because I think it's going to be pretty similar for most. We're going to go mostly human on this one, I think. We're not even going to get rid of the canines. We're basically just going to add the bunny teeth in the front and call it good, I think. Because we're VTubers. We're anime people. We don't need to worry about being fully 100% accurate all the time. I mean, I'm saying rodent teeth because it could be used for all kinds of rodents, but it's going to be modeled off of bunny teeth because they're the cutest. Oops, I've still got one selected over there. Let's deselect that. There we go. Oh, right, I don't have that on. I need to turn that on. There we go. So I think maybe to there, maybe scoot them back a bit. And then grab the two on this side. Come on, is it even gonna let me grab them? Okay, that side. Oh, dang it. I just selected all. Okay. Luckily, Control-Z works. So I can do that. And then... do we want them more level, or do we want more of a split between them? I think they'd be more level. So I think... maybe about there? Would you like to educate us on rabbits, Everglades? They're flat across? Okay. So we'll do flat across then. Alright, so let's... of the... okay, I don't even know how to pronounce that one. Lepharide? Is that how you pronounce that? Ah, that's gonna be a pain, though. And the bottom teeth meet even? Well, they're not going to on this one. Because that's not how this works. It's edit mode. And then we need to grab... can I just do it this way? Like, highlight all of these. Seems to have worked. And then... highlight the fronts in these spots. There we go. It's not 100%, but I think it's close enough. Maybe scoot these down? There we go. That looks more like something. I'm not sure if it's actually what I'm looking for, but it looks like something, is how I'll say it. Maybe even squeeze them in a tad bit. There we go. Yeah. They look like teeth. They definitely strike me as weird, but they look like teeth. So let's try and see open-mouthed again. Yep, I am aware, which is why we're saying, nah, this is a bunny girl, so they have fantasy teeth, where they've just got the front bunny teeth and human teeth. So, I'm still gonna go with the idea of, their front teeth do still grow endlessly, but they rub against their, lower teeth, which, are much stronger or something, so that they still wear down and have the proper kind of bite that they need. That's why it's such a tight close on their mouth. And I appreciate it. I am just going through what is in my head for why I am choosing the choices that I have. Which, I'm actually mildly surprised that the bunny teeth look that cute. Like, they actually strike me as cute. So I am quite pleased. Yeah. So, bunny teeth. Saber-teeth rabbit? So you're saying, fangs and... and the rabbit teeth? Actually, how does it look like if you do sharp upper teeth? Oh, that is creepy. That is creepy. Uh, why are you regretting your decision? Are you saying these are rat teeth, or are you saying that the, like, normal bunny teeth look like rat teeth? Because they're supposed to be kind of rodent teeth. They could work for anything. Oh, you're saying that with the sharp teeth it looks like your rabbit teeth? Vamp bunny. Hang on, what if we... What if we stack everything? This looks weird. I don't even know what's going on with the teeth anymore. This is why you don't stack stuff. This is why when you stack everything, you get things like Cthulhu. No, but you could put them in the Discord. You are more than welcome to put links in the Discord. Alright, is there anything else I should do? We've got, like, 4 minutes, so we don't have that long. I need to fix the Nightbot, honestly. I haven't gotten around to it. Because that's the thing that stops you right now. Currently, Twitch believes you have access. It's just Nightbot that says you don't. So I need to update Nightbot. But you can post in the Discord, so that's fine. You are not wholly blocked out of sending links. Trying to debate if there's anything else I want to do right now. Well, first off, I should actually probably save this. File save. That works. Okay. So now our progress has been saved. I wish Tommy was here so that I could show him the sharp teeth and see if he is wanting them. Because they're quite a bit of work, honestly. And I've still got to do the lower version of them. Oh well. We will do it probably next Thursday. Because there's loads more to do. For now, I guess let's go ahead and switch over to intermission, and we'll do a bit of just chatting before we call the stream over. So there we go. Back in intermission, which is the fun place where I'm close up. Yes, who are we even gonna raid tonight? That is a question. I should probably start looking and seeing who's online. I feel like my voice is being weird and scratchy now. Maybe it's from laughing so much earlier. Oh, I know who we're gonna raid. Because we have a Anzu online. So, of course, we're going to raid that in a little bit. Unless, of course, someone denies me and decides to do guide the raid. Because that is always an option. But yes, I should probably go over what our plan for the next week is. On this coming Sunday, we have a collab going on, and on that Sunday we will not be doing the house rule, unfortunately, because I have a surprise coming after the stream, so we have to end the stream actually on time. So that's why we're not allowing for the thing, or the sub-train to hold me up. And let me go ahead and hydrate. What is this about close encounters? Just hydrate, and then I'll go ahead and do another raspberry. There we go, raspberry done. And then, the next point challenge for the community choice game will be going up on Sunday as well. So, I'll try and set it to a point where it's not going to be hit immediately. But on the off chance that it is hit immediately, we will be doing it on Tuesday, because we always do it on the Tuesday after the frickin' thing is redeemed. And then, yes, Spyro will be going back on that list. And then, on Tuesday, if we don't hit the challenge, we will probably be playing Planet Zoo, unless, of course, I'm dizzy, in which case we'll play whatever dizzy game I feel like. And then on next Thursday, we'll get back to this model. And heck, I can already tell you what we're doing next Sunday as well, because we will be doing a community Sea of Thieves going on. So we will have Carmi, as well as Corvax, also known as Ors, and Everglades. You have Sea of Thieves, right? Did you want in on this? Because I think we've currently got one slot left open. It will be on Sunday the 6th, at the usual streaming time. So if you're interested, let me know. I actually just downloaded it recently and made sure that it started up. I still have not actually tested it much. Oh, your laptop doesn't like the game? Okay. So that means that we have one slot left. So I'll be sure to put that in the Discord and see who else wants to jump in with us. Because I don't entirely know who all is going to be joining in. I might even have some slots for if you want to just be a kind of call-in, like if someone can't make it. What is the... There's a term for it, but I don't remember what the term is. I don't know. But yeah, so I'll be posting more about that in the Discord, so if you're not part of the Discord, which I believe everyone here is, but just in case, there's my Discord, so you can go check out there. I'll be posting more about it. Back up, there was a different word. There was like a theater term for it that I forgot. So, I don't know. Understudy, yes, that was the word. I was thinking understudy. I don't know why my brain went theater and then completely failed to tell me what the word I was actually looking for was. But oh well. Yes, and then, I'm trying to think if there's anything else before we go raid. Because I think... I've got other things in the works, but I shouldn't be talking about them yet, because they still are... Like, I don't have an actual date of when they're going to happen, just know that I have more stuff in the works. And, I suppose I can give you the hint of, you can expect activity on my YouTube at some point. I do have a YouTube. It's kind of dead at the moment, but I am working on some video edits for it. Yes, the Tide Pod will be signing off. Oh, gosh dang. Now you've got me calling myself the Tide Pod. I am not a Tide Pod. I am... I am a cat. with Portal-inspired colors. Yes, we will be going and saying hi to my favorite pink cat girl, Anzu. So let me go ahead and pull up that raid and get that ready. Let me set that up. Portal pod. Gosh dang it, this is getting worse. But yeah, so let's go show Anzu some love. Say hi. I'm not entirely sure what she's doing, but I'm sure it'll be exciting. So let's go and...